Okay, so out of all those options, digital love is one that sticks out. So tell me more about that one.
Uh, so if Vanilla X Digital Love were to win, that might be the hardest one to tackle. Um, I could go in and focus on the word love. Like love brings certain notes to mind, certain romantic things to mind. But at the same time, it's digital love. That could be like a futuristic concept, or it's not saying like you're in love with something in a digital verse. It's just like that concept of I love music. I'm the type of person that loves this. It's more of like a vibe fragrance. Like people that enjoy this and enjoy that might vibe with this really well. Uh,
Yeah, the way I interpret digital love is the thing that connects the word digital and the word love is electricity, like an electric feeling almost.
ooh,
So maybe finding a way to bridge the gap between something like you said, futuristic, right, digital, and something that's existed for all of time, which is like love. So that's almost it's like one of the oldest feelings that humans know. So how do we bridge that gap in a fragrance?
that's a that's a brilliant question. The first part of that. So electric in the sense of making something that is electric in a fragrance is very difficult, or even getting someone to perceive electricity like a spark,
Yeah,
um
a
like a
spark.
jolt.
Yeah, exactly. That first spark when you see someone, you know, that is exactly what connects those two feelings.
And like now that it comes into prominence though when you think about how we interact with people in today's terms and like standards. It's all digital stuff. Like you
Yeah.
DM someone, your love is communicated over the digital verse.
It could be what you gain in terms of like because of digital technology, you gain access to so many people around the world, but what do you lose, right, in terms of love and connection? It's like it's both of those things at the same time.
This is interesting, man. Like this is really deep. This is much deeper than I thought it was gonna be. Like
I like this idea of a digital love fragrance.
I
I would.
if it doesn't win, I'm still gonna want to do something with that in the future. I actually got the name Digital Love. There's a Daft Punk song that came out when I was a child that for some reason the name of it never left my mind. And
Oh,
it was called Digital Love.
what are if you had to imagine three notes that would go in there? What would you imagine?
Mm. It needs to be dancing. For some reason, I imagine it being like something that where it's dancing. Um,
Yeah,
and it needs to have, like you said, that spark or that jolt of electricity that just it pulls you in. It connects you to the fragrance, and then it surrounds you with love after the fact. You remember how
yeah,
Roses and All did that?
yeah,
Roses and All doesn't have a jolt or a spark in the open per
yeah.
se, but it's fleeting and it's loving and it's potent.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of like how it just envelopes you in like this milky, smooth, comforting love or embrace based on the notes. I can kind of see that part. The dry down I can do. It's what is the spark? What is the jolt? Like I can build the whole fragrance. I have about 80% of it in my head. But the
Yeah.
jolt, the spark, that central moment of what reels us in would need to be something like different, something unorthodox, something like I don't know, like yuzu, or just like a note that it brings a jolt or a spark for a
It just
moment.
like hits you immediately. Yeah.
Yeah, like there's one wine that I have. It's called like or it's an ingredient. It's like based on the wine Sauvignon or
Oh, okay. Yeah.
it it has a spark to it. When I smell that ingredient every time it has a spark to it, but it's really strong and it would need to be diluted. But it really does have like a spark and it's kind of um like white grape and grape put together to make
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a rum note or like a boozy wine note. But it also offers like cassis and black currant at the same time,
yeah.
and it's a sparkling note, so it sparkles and it has like a jolt to it. It could be a good answer to that, and I could see that being over like something like a milky, creamy, dry down with maybe some luscious like plum fruit, or I don't know, some luscious peach. A different like fruits can come into that and make it have that love aspect. But then we need something in there that translates to like the digital realm.
Digital. Yeah, I was thinking something metallic, um, or just more cooling and metallic that still fuses well with the love side of things.
Cardamom.
Um, yeah, cardamom is good.
Cardamom, or like for the wood, instead of using cedar wood, we could use like camphor, because camphor is kind of like, to me, it's a metallic wood.
It's
Since it,
almost, yeah, it's cooling. It's almost metallic actually.
yes, yes,
Uh,
that's
and then
sounding interesting now,
yeah, yeah.
bro. Digital love's gonna win. I
I
wish.
wish people, yeah. I hope more people would vote for that one. I'm definitely voting for that one. So let's see what everyone else thinks.
Yeah. Well, that's a good starting point. Let's move on.